We need him not only in those categories, but we need him installed in the heavens, where neither moth nor rust to destroy. We need him up there, and we need him for us. And my friends, as the apostles proclaimed to the people in the New Testament, what God promised, so he has fulfilled to us, his children. Promised to the fathers, he has fulfilled to us, his children, by sending his only Son. Jesus is that new and greater and more permanent Elisha, the one who stands for us. And now I want to address the farmers and those who work or go uptown for coffee, and you hear the farmers talk about the weather and the temperature and the rainfall and the ups and downs of the farming industry. And you remember something. Hopefully they remember. I remember that neither farming nor any of our work is a crapshoot. It's not subject to chance. Nothing happens to us by chance. It's not the roll of the dice. It's not a crapshoot. It's not a gambling game played with two dice, farmers. It's not a crapshoot. Why? Because God is in control. And I want to show you that. The role of water in these stories. As you know, in verse 5, the axe head falls into water. And throughout the ministry of Elisha, water is manipulated by God's control and power through Elisha. Whether it was in the opening story when the waters divided, remember that? Or in the next story, when the story of the Flint, Michigan water. It's not Flint, Michigan because it's in the Bible. But it's a city with bad water, undrinkable water, poisonous, disease-ridden water. And Elisha heals that water, makes it whole. He divides the water. He heals the water. He brings water when the livestock in the army lack water in chapter 3. Remember that? In chapter 5, he sends a commander of a Syrian army to water to be cleansed. And now here, he makes an axe head float in water. Why? Because Elisha is the embodiment. He is the demonstration that God is in control. God controls nature. God controls history. God is in control of your life. And that's why farming is not a crapshoot, a gambling game played with two dice. It's not up to chance, up to random selection. It is in the power, in the hand of God. And so it is with your work and your lives. But God is not only in control like a king, he's also compassionate like a father. Hear that? Hear that? God is compassionate and in control. And so therefore, he will take care of you. This story demonstrates his control over nature, his compassion for his people. He doesn't let the axe head, the borrowed axe head, sink and stay in the water. He makes it float. Hear these ideas. And then throughout these Elisha stories, people cry out. Notice in verse 5, the son of the prophet, when he sees what has happened, he cries out. And farmers and workers and people, when you understand God's control and God's compassion, you will cry out to him, because you will recognize his power and his strength for what it is. You will see him for who he is. You will cry out as the people cry out, as the widow cries out for oil, as the son of the prophet cries out when the stew is poisonous in chapter 4. And as the son of the prophet cries out when the axe head falls in the water, you will cry out when you recognize the strength and the presence and the power of God in your midst and on your behalf. You will. And I pray that you will. Not to be like Tim, the computer software engineer. Not to be like Reese Rogers, the weathered custodian from Lookout Mountain. Not to be like Ivan Arkashenko, the strapping Ukrainian immigrant. Not to be like Tom Randolph, the tweed jacket and the leather elbow patches. Not to fail to recognize the supreme power that is in your midst through God, through Christ. It's not just in your midst, but it is in your behalf. God's control and God's compassion. And as we recognize these things, let's respond. Let's respond in faith. Let's respond with repentance even. Let's respond with prayer and praise. and a cry to him for help, and a cry of praise and thanksgiving. Amen.